Welcome to the Love Government. I'm Dennis Leary. We are doing a series of videos called Sex Signs. And we are now on the 24th episode in this series. I'm talking about the handbook, the manual, the shorthand method of condensing information into a easy, user-friendly symbol, and that's the hand. It's called a handbook, manual. There's a play on words there. We talked about the thumb as the clitoris because it resembles the clitoris. Now we're going to go into the four penises. The first penis, or the first finger, the first digit is the forefinger, or the index finger. That's this finger. And I'm going to use that finger as a way to get into the information and the energy. And I call it the tasting finger because it's going to have to do with diet. It works like this. When you use this finger often to taste things. You know, you dip your finger in the bowl. Remember when you were a kid? Into the cookie bowl, the batter, and you taste things. Or you taste with this finger. It's just a playful association to link it to what I'm going to talk about, and that is diet and food. Diet and food. Because this is one of the principles, the practices that are either destroying our world or building it up to what we want to create here, which is a paradisal situation. Like my shirt here, I just happen to remember I got this shirt on. It shows 3 women, and paradise is on there somewhere. Paradise. So this shirt is portraying where we came from, where we're going, and where we need to end up. And we're going to be here until we do that, till we restore the world the way that it was meant to be. Now, I've talked about already the thumb, the clitoral thinking, relating to birth control, abortion, etc. Now we're going to talk about diet. That's the finger. This reminds me of that. So diet, food, the food we take into our bodies constitutes us. We are what we eat, as the saying goes, and there's a lot of truth to that. So what are we eating? Physically and also metaphorically, what are we eating? What are we taking into us and digesting and using? That's vitally important. So I'm going to jump right to it by saying that the Love Government advocates for an Eden vegan diet. Eden vegan diet. It's a healthy vegan. Now I say vegan because that is the way we ate 100,000 years ago in the Garden of Eden. We ate a vegan diet, and when we were back in Lake Victoria, we ate fish and seashells, and then when we were down at the tip of Africa during the drought, we ate lots of shellfish. So the vegan dividing line, as far as the Love Government goes, is blood. We don't eat creatures that have the same kind of blood that we do. In other words, red blood. That's kind of the dividing line. So Eden vegan is what they ate in the Garden of Eden. They did eat lower life forms, insects, reptiles, fish, shellfish, worms, in addition to the leaves, the berries, the nuts, the seeds, the fruit. All of it was a balanced diet. But the line that was drawn was, does the animal have blood like we do? Then it was, do not kill. That still shows up in the 10 Commandments. Do not kill. It doesn't really refer to do not kill other people because God is even himself saying, go and kill them. But don't kill other animals that have blood like you do. Because you're, in effect, you are killing yourself. So we don't eat meat, nor do we eat animal products. We're vegan. Now, a lot of people have problems with this because meat eating is an addiction. And I don't just mean an addiction in this lifetime. It's an addiction that goes back for tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of years. We've become addicted to killing, addicted to eating meat, addicted to eating animal products that way. So it's in us. So it's not a all or nothing thing, but this is the ideal. Eating vegan. Vegan diet can be very unhealthy, and in the long run you can run into very serious problems with the vegan diet because you may not, if you're going to take it up, you got to be careful. Because in our culture, we haven't the guidelines that we had back then as to get all of our nutrients. Now, shellfish are a great source of nutrients, better than meat in some regards. So you don't have to be eating meat to be really healthy, but you've got to be careful because in veganism, you can get into trouble if you're not getting regularly all of the nutrients that you need. So it takes a little bit of work. But in our modern society, we can get supplements and we can get information and still adhere to that vegan diet. Now, why is that important? Is it just for health? I think it is. I mean, not just for health, but I'm really healthy. At 73 years old, I'm pretty healthy, and I've been eating vegan for a while, having problems with it, and now I've kind of got it down, I think, by adding shellfish and anyway, I don't want to get into the details of it, but you need to get information. That's why I say eating healthy vegan, because veganism, you can be eating junk food, you can be taking drugs that are harmful, and you can still say, I'm vegan, but you can be extremely unhealthy, and you're going to kill yourself being a vegan. So I just want to make that point. Also, we extend the idea of diet not just to eating and drinking, type of foods, but also includes drugs that we take into our body. These can be very, very harmful. Alcohol and caffeine and nicotine and all those kind of teens, plus the chemicalized food, the GMOs, the packaged food. I don't even like to go into a regular supermarket anymore. I don't find any food there at all that I can eat. It's even the stuff that, the vegetables and the fruit that looks good, it's, when you taste it, if you become used to, but most people don't know the difference anymore because they don't live in the garden anymore. But there's a huge difference between picking a fruit off of the tree or picking the leaves or the vegetables out of the garden and eating them right away than buying it from a supermarket. But we're so conditioned to that, and I'm saying that diet can be destructive of our own health and the health of the planet itself. If we're eating meat, just think of it. Eating meat, what does that entail? It entails killing these animals violently. It entails forcing them to a diet they were never intended to eat, and then loading them up with chemicals and cramped conditions and horrible, cages and corrals, and then we eat that, and we think we're going to be healthy, and we think that's not going to affect our minds. The food gets into our system and affects us totally. So all of that is represented by this finger, the tasting finger or the forefinger, which points to diet as a constitutional, almost automatic way to either love yourself or kill yourself on the extremes. You can kill yourself with a diet, or you can prove to yourself that you love yourself by making the diet as well as you can. And you don't have to follow this at all. Nobody has to follow this. I'm just offering it as what I do and what I envision the love government people interested, they do. So we advocate for eating vegan diet for all of those reasons, and therefore we're against meat eating. And eating animal products is kind of a gray area, but it stands to reason, to me anyway, that you want to respect the animals by not killing them and eating them, and their products are included in that. Stealing is stealing. The Bible says, do not steal. So, why if you take away their products, which I'm talking about eggs and dairy, and it's not as bad as eating the meat, but it's in the same ballpark. So that's that finger. Now I'm going to go to the next finger, which is the middle finger. It's the sex finger. This is the forefinger. This is the sex finger. Looks like a penis. And it has to do with animality. See, we're animals. We have 98 some point some of the same genes as a chimpanzee. We're animals with an overlay of rationality and spirituality. Basically, we're animals, and that means sex. That's why this finger reminds us of our animal nature. And now here I'm going to bring up the issue of pethood. It's a pet peeve of mine. It's a pet peeve, therefore, of the love government. But pethood is the soft side of animal abuse. It creates a slippery slope to animal abuse, and it's just as bad because it appears so innocuous and so beneficial to our society to have a pet. But if you look at it with clitoral thinking in the middle, and clitoral on one side and clinical on the other, and you're already practicing the thumb and the forefinger, then you begin to see the problem with pethood, which most people cannot see because they're conditioned not to see it. And I don't want to upset anybody because I know it does, but the truth has to be told about the reality of pethood. The broad picture, the panorama, remember the panoramic vision, is that what we're doing as a human species is destroying another species. We're intruding on it. We're making slaves out of free animals. Now, I love animals, and I'm kind of a psychic animal myself, and I'm psychic in regard to animals. I can hear them talk. In a way, animal language. I love free animals. They're magnificent. They're beautiful. They're inspiring. And they are inside of me. But pets is a whole different story because that's a corrupted, it's destroying, it's enslaving, it's reducing animals to a product, to a stock and bonds, making money off of them, getting things from them to meet our neurotic needs for love. So we can't get it, we're not able to get it anymore through ourselves or through our peers, fellow human beings. So we turn to a whole other species because of our misplaced love, and we destroy that species. The whole animal nation is being destroyed out of human neurosis, which basically translates to lack of love. So we take to the animals, we as a species have done this for millions of years, killing the animals, eating them. It's subliminal sex. It's sex disguised sex. We're having sex with the animals in an unconscious way. I'm going to continue this in the next episode because it's really important. But thank you for bearing with us because these are hard truths. They strike at the very heart of the patriarchy. They strike right at the heart of the evil culture. But it needs to be said. It needs to be thought about in a deep way. Thank you for bearing with us. So love, and more love. Thank you.